A bit of context for the story: I'm type 1 diabetic and people can tell pretty easily. My mom and I are part of a charity group and we love the moms in our group, except for this mom, EM. EM constantly made trouble with me and my mom, which my mom is our class leader. From interrupting our class meetings so her daughter, who has autism, could take a brain break to mocking me for having diabetes. Like, I understand that people with autism can get overstimulated very easily, but her daughter seemed fine and generally annoyed from the brain breaks. I probably shouldn't make assumptions, but One day, my class went to our friend's Indian dance graduation and we all dressed for the occasion since it's a pretty big milestone for her. EM refused to dress up and I thought that maybe she felt uncomfortable wearing the Indian clothing we were given. During the whole performance, which was 3 hours long, she was on her phone. Now I understand how a child can get bored, but you're a grown woman. Her daughter could sit still and watch the entire 3-hour-long performance, so why couldn't she? During dinner she refused to eat the Indian food we were given, saying that it looked gross. Indian food isn't for everyone, but you're at a cultural experience, at least try it. After the whole thing, my mom and I were heading back to the car when we heard EM call for us. She handed her daughter's Indian costume back to us, and while complaining to my mom about how hard it was for her daughter to do her job in our class, my insulin pump sent an alarm that my BG levels were high. "Why does your alarm have to go off all the time? It's so annoying," EM shouts at me. "Sorry EM, I can't control it," I told her, but she could care less. "You should be ashamed having a robotic daughter. She should just learn to suck it up," EM shouts at my mom. "Mom, stop calling her a robot. She's not a robot, she's just different," EM's daughter says to her, and EM scoffs. "You know what, clearly no one is on my side. Maybe I should leave this group and it'll be all your fault. Don't be upset when you want me back. I hate you and your stupid, pathetic daughter, bitch," EM shouts, clearly pointing out my boyish hair and dragging her poor daughter along with her. Now I'm biologically female, but I prefer a more masculine look and currently go by any pronouns. I've had gender dysphoria before, but she made me feel really bad about it just then. I know this isn't the most exciting story, but I just wanted to get it off my chest. Story 2. Over the week, my husband and I went on a camping trip before summer season with its glorious warm weather was officially over. We weren't at home and had no cell reception where we were. We left Thursday, September 7th and returned on Monday, September 11th. While we were away, my cousin left my niece still strapped to her car seat outside my house door on Friday, September 8th and sent me some text messages. Remember, I had no cell reception where I was camping. I would never have known while I was gone. I saw the missed messages after I returned home. It wasn't a request to ask if I can help her. It was simply a message notifying me that she left my niece in front of my door along with a bag with her stuff for the weekend. She did not ask me beforehand if I could help her babysit. There was no possible way for me to know. Even if I knew, I would have still declined unless it was a medical emergency in the family and they had no other choice. I live in a rural area where everyone is on 30-acre plots of land, so no one knew my niece was there. I had no clue. The neighbors had no clue. My niece was literally abandoned in front of my door until Saturday noon when my parents came by to drop off my parcels that were delivered to their house. That's when they saw my niece. My parents called my aunt and had her come pick her up. I can only assume that my parents, my aunt and my grandmother scolded my cousin for leaving my niece at my door. When I got home, all I saw was the initial text message telling me that my niece was dropped off at my place. Then a string of very rude text messages and voice messages from my cousin calling me irresponsible for leaving my niece outside and endangering her. Because what if the coyotes in my area attacked the helpless infant? I'm just so frustrated. Story 3. I've lived with my BF, male 21, his brother, male 24, and brothers GF, female 24, ever since they were evicted from my BF's mother, female 55 plus fully able-bodied, home a few years back. Before she was evicted, she made a deal with her employers to turn her big house owned by her father into a senior living facility. She's stopping working as much while spending almost all her money in secret. Her employers ended up letting her go and getting them all evicted. Now there is a lawsuit involved. Her and her father stayed in hotel rooms together. Her daughter, still a minor, had to go live with her father. More context from past. My BF's mom spent so much of her then husband's money that she ended up leaving him in a lot of debt. They divorced and she has always continued to talk shit about him in general and as a parent to everyone including me and her kids. She had most of the custody so she collected a lot of child support which was not always spent on the kids. She tried to continue to collect child support from him for my BF once he turned 18. After a bit of their mom staying with her father in hotel rooms running out of money, she begged us to let them both come stay with us rent-free. My BF's brother and his GF were very hesitant to allow this, because she has lied to my BF's brother about money situations so much in the past. We all still agreed to give them a place to stay while she got her stuff together. Our only condition was that she had to get a job ASAP. She ended up going back and forth on if she was getting a job or not. In the end she completely refused so we told her they had to go. They went back to staying in hotel rooms together. Her father is old and showing signs of dementia, and she doesn't handle it the best. She ends up telling us she cannot handle taking care of him ironically and she ends up arranging for him to fly back to his home county to live there with other family that can take care of him. She continues to be jobless staying in hotels by herself for a while, and ends up meeting this other guy who is also homeless, male 30-ish. They end up staying together in hotels splitting the cost of the rooms, food, weed, cigarettes etc. At one point she ends up getting a job, but ends up quitting because she didn't like it, without having any backup plan. She continues to be jobless for the whole rest of the time with this guy and even gets a cat and dogs, claiming she can't work because she has to take care of them. This goes on for a while and she starts telling us how rude and verbally abusive he is, and how she cannot live there anymore or she will probably just kill herself. She begs us again if she can move in rent-free, gaslighting and guilt-tripping of course. We have an in-person meeting with her, to tell her yes she can stay with us but only under our conditions. She will have a job before even moving in, she will not smoke cigarettes because we rent and it is non-smoking and she almost caught our last house on fire smoking cigarettes in the backyard. She will be completely transparent about dollar and all that, and that she will not have any pets. She starts saying she would rather just stay with him if she can't bring her dog, gaslighting us that she will just have to go back to the emotionally abusive place. Finally, we tell her you can bring the one small dog and only if you potty train her to go outside instead of on our carpet. She did not have a job the day she came, claiming she will be applying like crazy to get one ASAP, so we let it slide, telling her she better have one in a month. She starts spending all of her free time decorating the house with ugly/trashy decorations and no one wants up, doing little arts and crafts, sewing using our supplies, tanning, offering do things like rearrange my whole bedroom, etc. Not really taking any time to get her shit together and apply and get a job. Yet, she continues to ask for money for random things like wigs, sewing supplies, weed, vapes, etc. She even again goes back and forth saying she will get a job and completely refusing. She even had one lined up and quit the day before she was supposed to start for literally no reason. We tell her again she can't live with us if she won't, so she finally starts to put in the time applying like crazy. She finally got a job after 2 months, but is barely being scheduled any hours at minimum wage. She isn't even close to taking home $1,000 per month, but continues asking us to buy her stuff, while she spends her money on random craft supplies and weed and vapes. She asked me if she should keep applying at other places since they are not scheduling much at all her and I say yes, but of course my advice is not taken. The whole time she has been causing arguments in the group chat with all of us over random things like her assuming I am mad she is laying down over a door closed a little loud. She also had lied about smoking cigarettes at the house, has barely tried to potty train her dog, says rude, racist, homophobic and transphobic things constantly, trying to boss us around in our house, lies about legal problems and how much money she has and makes, took some our groceries without asking, broken things and when asked ignored us, did not apologize, act entitled to our belongings, and many other problems. Also she continued telling us the entire time that living with us sucks, we are abusive for having any rules for her, and that she is somewhere else that's better, she can stay where she will get more help. She doesn't or she would have been gone, she is just trying to make us feel bad for her. And it's not like we can just have a mature conversation with her when a problem arises, because her eyes she is never wrong, completely entitled to her son's money and things and being taken care of by them, and can never admit when she is wrong. Instead she takes it as a personal attack and just gets angry with us, shutting us down without understanding our side at all or apologizing. After the last fight she started, we told her she has a month to figure out where she is going, because she can no longer stay with us. We are so over it. 21 days left. Yes, I am using a countdown because I am that excited to have the house to ourselves again. We will see how hard she starts gaslighting and guilt tripping us when it gets closer and she doesn't want to leave. This will not be on our shoulders anymore. Hopefully this will be her big wake-up call and she will finally be able to start getting her shit together and be able to provide for her still minor daughter again. Story 4. I, female 24, love Animal Crossing and have been obsessed with that game since elementary school. I bought the Nintendo Switch for the New Horizons game and my mother made fun of me. I tried to explain that it's not for children only and that she might like it. I was on vacation with my aunt this summer. I was ordering stickers to put in my phone case and my aunt noticed. Keep in mind that we just came back from visiting my father's cousin. She has an intellectual disability. So my aunt commented, "Are you sure that you're not the slow one?" I was hurt and lied about who I was purchasing stickers for. She later talked to my mother on the phone and laughed about me because I'm slow.